Cruise news. Today's top cruise stories. Minnesota cruise passengers stranded after cruise booking debacle. A Bulgarian cruise ship has crashed into a wall on the Danube, injuring 11. The Carnival Legend cruise ship docks in Norfolk following the bridge collapse in Baltimore. Brazil authorities arrest 2 people with a very large amount of cocaine on a cruise ship. Today's cruise news. Let's get into it. This is your source for cruise news from around the world. My name is Joe. I'm going to be your host. Our top story: 50 people who all booked with the same travel agent who were supposed to be cruise ship passengers ended up being left on a dock in Florida. 2 of those passengers are from my home state of Minnesota, and they were temporarily stranded because of this booking debacle. One of the cruise passengers, Cherry Goodyew, had been planning this trip for a year. During that year, she had been being treated for thyroid cancer, and she and her sister had also lost 2 close family members during that year. The cruise just kept getting more important to them as time went on. It was something that they could look forward to in kind of this dark time in their life. Upon arriving at the port to get on the cruise ship that they had been looking forward to for so long, they went up to get on the ship and were told that their name could not be found anywhere. The room that they thought they had booked had been booked for somebody else, and that they were not going to be able to get on the cruise ship. The travel agent that had booked all 50 of these people, plus I'm assuming a bunch more that were on the cruise, was actually on the cruise with them. Sherry said that the travel agent walked by, told them everything was going to be fine, they were going to get a room, not to worry about anything. She then just jumps on the cruise ship and never comes back out. Never says a word to Sherry, never says a word to any of the 50 people that are standing on the pier that she all booked for this cruise. Yet, she was on the cruise. A local news channel, by phone, reached out to Monica Faulkner while she was on the cruise that these folks were supposed to be on and asked what happened. Monica stated that Carnival had canceled a bunch of the cruise bookings and that she had tried to rebook them. She did not have an explanation for why she didn't contact the people, let them know that their cruise was canceled, and give them a refund. Faulkner did say that the folks stranded on the pier would get a full refund and that the money was held by a company called Travel Joy at the moment. But Sherry and her sister Dee Dee aren't buying it. They say, why wouldn't she have already returned the money? When she's on the cruise ship, why isn't she on her phone returning the money? That would make a lot of sense, right? Well, this is truly an unfortunate situation. Everybody's playing the blame game. You know, the sisters are blaming the travel agent. The travel agent, to begin with, was blaming the cruise line. The cruise line was blaming the travel agent. From where I stand, I think it's pretty clear that the travel agent is who's to blame here. All right, guys, let me tell you what a really, really bad look for a travel agent is. It's when you book 50 people on a cruise, have them all fly out, get ready, pack up, and come out to Florida, only to get out to the pier and find out that their bookings were canceled, and then walk past them on the pier, telling them it's all going to be okay, and get on the cruise ship and take the cruise anyway. Can you believe that? That is a bad look for a travel agent. So, putting yourself into the shoes of the travel agent in this situation. You get on the cruise ship, you know there's 50 people that you totally screwed over, waiting on the pier. The sisters said that everybody on the pier was like sitting out there crying, watching the boat drift away. Are you going to enjoy that cruise? Are you going to have fun? I mean, seriously, I'd like to think that if I was in that situation, I wouldn't take the cruise. I'd sit with them, try to facilitate their way home, tell them how sorry I was. She got on the cruise ship and took the cruise. That is a wild story to me. I don't mean to be a jerk, but that seems like a really selfish person. I'm just putting that out there. Crazy story. I'll just end this by saying, Monica Faulkner, not cool. I really hope you decide to have a career change after this. In our next story, a Bulgarian cruise ship crashes into a wall on the Danube. It temporarily lost power, crashed into a wall, and then was able to regain power. They ended up having to treat 11 people for injuries, but the cruise ship actually didn't sustain enough damage that they decided to cancel the cruise. It kept going after all this happened. So what is going on with ships losing power and crashing into walls and bridges? It's like a thing that never happened. I mean, and if it did, it was very, very rare. And then all of a sudden, the same kind of thing happens in Baltimore, in Oklahoma, and now in Austria. It seems like something weird is going on here. There doesn't seem to be any kind of an explanation as to why this never happened, and then all of a sudden it happens 3 times within, somewhere around a week. It's not good, and I really, really hope and pray that this stops happening. And in our next story, as one of the many, many repercussions that are going to happen and have happened because of the Baltimore Bridge collapse, the Carnival Legend redirected and docked in Norfolk rather than in Baltimore. The folks that got off the ship in Norfolk were bussed up to the Baltimore area where they were supposed to get off the ship so they could make their way home or wherever they were going, and the folks that were supposed to get on the ship in Baltimore made their way down to Norfolk and got on the ship there. Everybody's going to work through this thing with the bridge collapse, but man, it is messing a lot of stuff up. What a horrible situation. These ships have got to stop crashing into things. Brazil federal agents arrest 2 people with nearly 62 pounds of cocaine on a cruise ship. The apprehended individuals, a man and a woman whose names have not been released, were arrested at a security checkpoint. The cocaine was found in their suitcases in hidden compartments during a luggage check. The luggage check involved X-ray scans and a canine detection dog. Following their arrest, they were escorted to a federal prison and will be charged in a federal court. This operation was a collaborative effort by the Integrated Force to Combat Organized Crime. It involved efforts from federal police, state police, military police, and other crime-stopping agencies. All I really have to say about this is, holy crap, that is a lot of cocaine. I am so glad they caught these guys. That cocaine is hopefully going to go somewhere and be destroyed so that it can't go somewhere else and destroy someone's life. In our last story, a Carnival brand ambassador has shared some hacks to keep your room on the cruise ship a little bit cleaner. Several people who have been on Carnival cruise ships in the past chimed in to say how they keep their clean and dirty clothes separate. One person suggested that you open up your suitcase, lay it underneath the bed in the open position, and toss your dirty clothes in there. Another person says that they bring a pop-up hamper from home. Another person suggested, I like the pop-up hamper thing, but you can also just stand up your carry-on bag, open up the top of it a little bit, stuff your dirty clothes in there. And another suggestion was to simply bring a garbage bag, stick your dirty clothes in the garbage bag. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure I have used every single one of these techniques in my travels throughout the years, so it's awesome what people come up with to make their cruise experience better, to keep their room cleaner, to separate their dirty and clean clothes. We can all agree that cruise ship rooms are small. It's fun to get innovative and make sure that you utilize that space to its fullest. That is today's top stories from around the cruise industry on today, April 5th, in the year of our Lord 2024. Always remember, no matter what cruise line you choose, no matter what destination you choose on your next cruise, adventure awaits.